The Toronto Maple Leafs and Austin Matthews have come to terms on a 5-year contract extension. We'll get into all the details and take a look at their salary cap situation coming up next. Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video here at Top Shelf Hockey. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. We review and discuss all 31 NHL teams, so if you're a huge hockey fan, consider subscribing and clicking the bell so you don't miss anything. Big news out of the Toronto Maple Leafs organization today. Austin Matthews has completed his extension with the Toronto Maple Leafs, which will kick in next year once his rookie contract expires. So Austin Matthews has inked a deal for a 5-year term at $11.634 million per season. That will make him the highest paid player on the Maple Leafs, obviously eclipsing John Tavares by about $600,000, but Tavares making an even $11 million on a 7-year term that he signed last summer. So big news out of Toronto. Obviously, there's been a lot of speculation around Matthews and Marner and potential offer sheets coming this season. So obviously, this is one less offer sheet that they need to worry about. A lot of speculation for a long time that the Coyotes or somebody like that would come along and try to offer sheet Matthews for an exorbitant amount of money to either bring the player in and give up a bunch of picks or kind of really pick on the Maple Leafs salary cap situation here. This does put the Maple Leafs salary cap situation in a spot where they do need to make some very difficult decisions heading into the offseason or between now and then. Obviously, they might try to get some other contracts worked out ahead of time, but right now, heading into the 2019-2020 season, that puts them under 14 players under contract for next year at a $71.9 million cap hit. So just shy of $72 million tied up in 14 players. The salary cap next year is expected to be somewhere approximately at $83 million. So that does give them obviously some flexibility, but at the same time, they have a lot of players that are going to require new contracts like Mitch Marner. Now, we've heard all along that Mitch Marner did not want to discuss his contract situation until the end of the season, but it is also believed that the main thing he was waiting for in saying that is he wanted the Matthews contract to be done first. Now, we've heard many times from Marner's camp, including his own parents, that they feel like he's really just as valuable to the team as Matthews and Tavares and anybody else. So I do imagine here that Marner is going to be looking for a very comparable contract. Maybe he falls somewhere in between Tavares and Matthews. I'm not sure exactly what the magic number is for Mitch Marner and the Toronto Maple Leafs, but even though he said he would not negotiate until the end of the year, now that the Matthews contract is done, I would not be surprised at all to see them start negotiations a little bit sooner, because I really think this is the main thing he's been waiting for. Obviously, William Nylander they had the big contract and the big standoff there early in the season. That's now been resolved, so he's locked up long-term. Now Matthews is locked up for 5 years. He will be an unrestricted free agent at the end of this contract, so that gets him all the way through his RFA years. So obviously Matthews is going to be hitting a UFA status at a fairly young age. He'll only be, I believe, 26 because he's 21 now. 5-year contract kicks in next year. So that's still a pretty good deal, I think, for the Leafs and for Matthews. He's clearly one of the top players in the game. Not surprised that he ended up getting a little bit more money than John Tavares, especially on a shorter term. So 5 years should work out pretty well. But the Leafs do have a lot of other tough decisions to make. They obviously, like I said, besides Mitch Marner, they do have some other contracts need to be done. Obviously, bringing in Jake Muzzin impacted their salary cap situation as well. So on the blue line, they're going to have guys like Ron Hainsey, Jake Gardiner, pending UFA. So we'll see what happens there. I think bringing in Muzzin pretty much assures us that Gardiner likely does not return. Of course, up front, other forwards like Kasperi Kapanen and Andreas Janssen need new contracts as well. So then they're all going to be warranted to get a raise of some kind because they've all played pretty well and certainly exceeded many expectations throughout the season. So they do have some other things they can do. The Maple Leafs right now are also continuing to look here at making some other potential minor improvements before the NHL trade deadline. And if they don't do it now into the offseason, I know they really want to unload that contract for Nikita Zaitsev. That is going to prove difficult. It was not a good contract for them to make, but they did. They have to live with that. They might have to retain salary if they do move him or take back another contract that might not be as favorable. Of course, there's the Nathan Horton contract, which right now is not showing on Cap Friendly as being on LTIR, so they can do some maneuvering with that as well. So they do have some flexibility. I don't think that their salary cap situations is all as bad as some people make it out to be. But yes, they will have some tough choices to make moving forward, just with all the guys that they've had play such a strong role at such a young age and really deserve such big raises. So let me know your thoughts and comments on the Austin Matthews contract extension. So it's 5 years, $11.6 million, kicks in next season. And we can discuss further in the comment section. If you're new to the channel here, I hope you consider subscribing. We cover all 31 NHL teams, and there's plenty of content here for all hockey fans to enjoy. So if you're new, hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up before you go. I'd appreciate it if you did. As always, thank you very much for watching, everybody. We will catch you next time.